there, Aletheia Church family. Pastor Justin here. I want to do something called the Daily Five, where I want to open up the scriptures for you and with you and give you a meditation and something to think about that I think can really help you in this strange new normal we've found ourselves in response to the COVID-19 virus. So our subject for the next couple days is going to be how to face a test. And I'm taking this out of the book of James. And this is James 1, verses 1 through 4. I'm going to read it and I'm going to show you how applicable I think this is for us today. James 1, verse 1 says, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes in the dispersion, greetings. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. I want to take a couple days to focus in on this passage because it is so rich and so helpful and so applicable. Now, I love running, and I'm a runner, and about 6 or 7 years ago, I decided to run a half marathon. Now, at the time, I was pretty good and fit. I was lifting, I was doing cardio, I was in the gym on a regular basis. So part of me assumed that I would be all good and set for a half marathon. Well, here's what I failed to realize, and I discovered painfully at the mile 10 marker, was that a half marathon wasn't primarily going to be a test of my ability to lift. It wasn't going to be a test of my ability to run in a treadmill or my technique. What it was going to be a test of was my feet. My feet. And when pins felt like they were shooting into my feet, that's when I realized that a half marathon was a test of my feet. Now notice here that James says we can count it joy when we encounter various trials. And just in case you weren't sure, this is a trial. That it is the testing of our faith. We need to know, first and foremost, if we're going to be able to face a test, what is being tested. And James tells us very, very clearly, it is our faith that is being tested. Now, this is really helpful because faith is about our relationship to God, how we feel and how we think about Him. And it is going to be our feelings and our thoughts and our relationship to God that is going to be tested during a time like this. You see, Christian faith isn't just good vibes or great feelings. Christian faith has an object, and the object of Christian faith is God Himself. This means that for many of you who are being tested, myself and my family included, whatever the test is, the feat of the half marathon being tested is your faith. You know, some of you might know people who are sick. You might be sick yourself. You might have family members, friends, loved ones who are sick. The thing that's going to be in view, that's going to be tested, is the way you feel and think about God in relationship to this. Some of you are going to be affected financially. I mean, it's no surprise that the economy is experiencing a downturn. And the question is going to be, can I trust God during this time to provide for me? Maybe for some of you, your finances are fine and you don't know anybody who's sick, you're not sick yourself. But if you're honest, this is an emotional trial for you right now. The motivation or dealing with the anxiety and the worry and the fear in this time, that's what you're experiencing in this time. And the question in view is about your faith. Can I trust God? Is God going to meet my needs? The reason this is so important to understand is because James says, when we know that our faith is being tested, then we're well on the road to counting it joy when we experience trials. When you are now aware that it's going to be your thinking and your feeling about God Himself and about His character, you're postured to face the trial well. And you're postured to be able to strengthen your faith. You're postured to be able to focus on whether or not God is trustworthy. And I'll tell you in future days why I think this passage tells us that God is trustworthy. But just know, if we're going to face trials and count it joy, it begins with knowing that this involves the testing of our faith. God bless you.